Come on, who else wants some?
Right, man. Akeem and Akatim, brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, everybody in the house. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings to each and every single one of you. That's right. That's right. Your homes, your dwelling places where you stay, your loved ones, friends, children, and your pets, man, little fur babies. That's right. Okay. And because of that, we give all praises to the Most High, right? All praises to Yahweh. Glory to Yahweh Shai. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh. And my love and my respect goes out to each and every single one of you. That's right. So look, we're back here in the book of Jasher, right? Chapter 16 until we get some more, I guess, huh? So we'll start off there, and you got a few moments if you want to get your scrolls out, read along with me. And no further ado, let's just get started. Jasher, chapter 16, let's begin. All right, let's go. All right, let's begin. Chapter 16, and it reads, At that time, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, sent to all the neighboring kings of Nimrod, king of Shinar, who was then under his power, and to Tidal, king of Goyim, and to Arioch, king of Elasar, with whom he had made covenant, saying, Come up with me to assist me, that we may smite all the towns of Sodom and its inhabitants, for they have rebelled against me these 13 years. And these 4 kings went up with all their camps, about 800,000 men. And they went as they were, and smote every man they found in their road. And the 5 kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemaber, king of Zeboyim, Bera, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, and Bela, king of Zoar, went out to meet them, and they all joined together in the valley of Siddim. And these 9 kings made war in the valley of Siddim, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah were smitten before the kings of Elam. And the valley of Siddim was full of lime pits, and the kings of Elam pursued the kings of Sodom, and the kings of Sodom with their camps fled and fell into the lime pits, and all that remained went into the mountains for safety. And the 5 kings of Elam came after them and pursued them to the gates of Sodom, and they took all that there was in Sodom, and they plundered all the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And they also took Lot, Abram's brother's son, and his property, and they seized all his goods of the cities of Sodom, and they went away. And Unique, Abram's servant, who was in the battle, saw this, and told Abram all that the kings had done to the cities of Sodom, and that Lot was taken captive by them. And Abram heard this, and he rose up with about 318 men and that were with him, and he that night pursued the kings and smote them, and they all fell before Abram and his men. And there was none remaining but the 4 kings who fled, and they went each his own road. And Abram recovered all the property of Sodom, and he also recovered Lot and his property, his wives and little ones, and all belonging to him, so that Lot lacking nothing. And when he returned from smiting these kings, he and his men passed the valley of Siddim, where the kings had made war together. And Bera, king of Sodom, and the rest of the men that were with him went out from the lime pits into which they had fallen, to meet Abram and his men. And Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, the same was Shem, went out with his men to meet Abram and his people, with bread and wine, and they remained together in the valley of Melech. And Adonizedek blessed Abram, and Abram gave him a tenth from all that he had brought from the spoil of the enemies, for Adonizedek was a priest before Yahweh. And all the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah who were there with their servants approached Abram and begged of him to return them their servants who had been made captive, and to take unto himself all their property. And Abram answered the kings of Sodom, saying, As the Most High lives, who created heaven and earth, and who redeemed my soul from all affliction, and who delivered me this day from my enemies, and gave them into my hand, I will not take anything belonging to you, that you may not boast tomorrow, saying, Abram became rich from our property that he saved. For the Most High, my Elohim, in whom I trust, said unto me, You will lack nothing, for I will bless you in all the works of your hands. And now therefore, behold, here is all the belonging to you. Take it and go. As the Most High lives, I will not take from you from a living soul down to a shoe tie or thread, excepting the expense of the food of those who went out with me to battle, as also the portions of the men who went with me, Anar, Ashkol, and Mamre, they and their men, as well as those also who had remained to watch the baggage. They will take their portion of the spoil. And the kings of Sodom gave Abram according to all that he had said, and they pressed him to take of whatever he chose. But he would not. And he sent away the kings of Sodom and the remainder of their men, and he gave them orders about Lot. And they went to their respective places. And Lot his brother's son, he also went away with his property, and he went with him. And Lot returned to his home, to Sodom, and Abram and his people returned to their home in the plains of Mamre, which is in Hebron. At that time the Most High again appeared to Abram in Hebron, and he said to him, Do not fear, your reward is very great before me, for I will not leave you until I will have multiplied you, and blessed you, and made you your seed like the stars in heaven, which cannot be measured nor numbered. Wow. 21. And I will give unto your seed all these lands that you see with your eyes. To them will I give them for an inheritance forever. Only be strong and do not fear. Walk before me and be perfect. And in the 78th year of the life of Abraham, in that year did Reu the son of Peleg, and all the days of Reu were 239 years, and he died. And Sarai, the daughter of Haran, Abram's wife, was still barren in those days. She did not bear to Abram neither son nor daughter. And when she saw that she bore no children, she took her handmaid Hagar, whom Pharaoh had given her, and she gave her to Abram, her husband, for a wife. For Hagar learned all the ways of Sarai, as Sarai taught her. She was not in any way deficient in following her good ways. And Sarai said to Abram, Behold, here is my handmaid Hagar. Go to her, that she may bring out upon my knees, that I may also obtain children through her. And at the end of the 10 years of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 85th year of Abram's life, Sarai gave Hagar unto him. And Abram hearkened to the voice of his wife Sarai, and he took his handmaid Hagar, and Abram came to her, and she conceived. And when Hagar saw that she had conceived, she rejoiced greatly, and her mistress was despised in her eyes. And she said within herself, This can only be that I am better before Elohim, before Yahweh, than Sarai my mistress. For all the days that my mistress has been with my Adon, she did not conceive. But me the Most High has caused in a short time to conceive by him. And when Sarai saw that Hagar had conceived by Abram, Sarai was jealous of her handmaid. And Sarai said within herself, This is surely nothing else but that she must be better than I am. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon you, for at the time when you did pray before the Most High for children, why did you not pray on my account, that the Most High should give me seed from you? And when I speak to Hagar in your presence, she despises my words because she has conceived, and you will say nothing to her. May the Most High judge between me and you for what you have done to me. And Abram said to Sarai, Behold, your handmaid is in your hands. Do unto her as it may seem good in your eyes. And Sarai afflicted her, and Hagar fled from her to the wilderness. And the angel of the Most High found her in the place where she had fled, by a well. And he said to her, Do not fear, for I will multiply your seed. For you will bear a son, and you will call his name Ishmael. Now, then return to Sarai, your mistress, and submit yourself under her hands. And Hagar called the place of that well Bir Lahai-roi. It is between Kadesh and the wilderness of Bered. And Hagar at that time returned to her master's house. And at the end of days, Hagar bore a son to Abram, and called his name Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when he begat him. That's the end of chapter 16, all right? And then we're going to continue on to 17. We're going to get some more 17, all right? Oh, cool. All right. Chapter 17, and it reads, And in those days, in the 91st year of the life of Abram, the children of Chittim made war with the children of Tubal. For when the Most High had scattered the sons of men upon the face of the earth, the children of Chittim went and embodied themselves in the plain of Canopia. And they built themselves cities there, and dwelt by the river Tebrio. And the children of Tubal dwelt in Tuscana, and their boundaries reached the river Tebrio. And the children of Tubal built a city in Tuscana, and they called the name Sabina, after the name of Sabina, son of Tubal, their father. And they dwelt there unto this day. And it was at that time the children of Chittim made war with the children of Tubal, and the children of Tubal were smitten before the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim caused 370 men to fall from the children of Tubal. And at that time the children of Tubal swore to the children of Chittim, saying, You will not intermarry among us, and no man will give his daughter to any of the sons of Chittim. For all the daughters of Tubal were in those days fair, for no women were then found in the whole earth so fair as the daughters of Tubal. And all who delighted in the beauty of women went to the daughters of Tubal, and took wives from them. And the sons of men, kings and princes, who greatly delighted in the beauty of women, took wives in those days from the daughters of Tubal. And at the end of 3 years, after the children of Tubal had sworn to the children of Chittim not to give them their daughters for wives, about 20 men of the children of Chittim went to take some of the daughters of Tubal, but they found none. For the children of Tubal kept their oaths not to intermarry with them, and they would not break their oaths. And in the days of harvest the children of Tubal went into their fields to get in their harvest, when the young men of Chittim assembled and went to the city of Sabina. And each man took a young woman from the daughters of Tubal, and they came to their cities. And the children of Tubal heard of it, and they went to make war with them. And they could not prevail over them, for the mountain was exceedingly high from them. And when they saw that they could not prevail over them, they returned to their land. And at the revolution of the year, the children of Tubal went and hired about 10,000 men from those cities that were near them, and they went to war with the children of Chittim. And the children of Tubal went to war with the children of Chittim, to destroy their land and to distress them. And in this engagement the children of Tubal prevailed over the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim, seeing that they were greatly distressed, lifted up the children which they had by the daughters of Tubal, upon the wall which had been built, to be before the eyes of the children of Tubal. And the children of Chittim said to them, Have you come to make war with your own sons and daughters? And have we not been considered your flesh and bone from that time until now? And when the children of Tubal heard this, they ceased to make war with the children of Chittim, and they went away. And they returned to their cities. And the children of Chittim at that time assembled, and built 2 cities by the sea, and they called one Purtu, and the other Arizah. And Abram, the son of Terah, was then 99 years old. At that time the Most High appeared to him, and he said to him, I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will greatly multiply your seed, and this is the covenant which I make between me and you, that every male child be circumcised, you and your seed after you. At 8 days old will it be circumcised, and the covenant will be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And now therefore your name will no more be called Abram, but Abraham, and your wife will no more be called Sarai, but Sarah. For I will bless you both, and I will multiply your seed after you, that you will become a great nation, and kings will come out after you, and come out from you. And that's the end of chapter 17. All right. We're going to continue. We're going to get a little bit more. That's chapter 17. All right. Let's continue. Chapter 18. All right. Chapter 18, and it reads, And Abraham rose and did all that the Most High had ordered him, and he took the men of his household and those bought with his money, and he circumcised them as the Most High had commanded him. And there was not one left whom he did not circumcise. And Abraham and his sons Ishmael were circumcised in the flesh of the foreskin. 13 years old was Ishmael when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And in the third day Abraham went out of his tent and sat at the door to enjoy the heat of the sun during the pain of his flesh. And the Most High appeared to him in the plain of Mamre, and sent 3 of his ministering angels to visit him. And he was sitting at the door of the tent, and he lifted his eyes and saw, and behold, 3 men were coming from a distance. And he rose up and ran to meet them, and he bowed down to them, and brought them into his house. And he said to them, If now I have found favor in your sight, turn in and eat a morsel of bread. And he pressed them, and they turned in, and he gave them water, and they washed their feet. And he placed them under the tree at the door of the tent. And Abraham ran and took a calf, tender and good, and he hastened to kill it, and gave it to his servant Eleazar to dress. And Abraham came to Sarah into the tent, and he said to her, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes to cover the pot containing the meat. And she did so. And Abraham hastened and brought before them butter and milk, beef and mutton, and gave it before them to eat before the flesh of the calf was sufficiently done. And they did eat. And when they had done eating, one of them said to him, I will return to you according to the time of life, and Sarah your wife will have a son. And the men afterward departed and went their ways to the places to which they were sent. In those days all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, and of the whole 5 cities, were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Most High, and they provoked the Most High with their abominations, and they strengthened in aging abominably and scornfully before the Most High. And their wickedness and crimes were in those days great before the Most High. And they had in their land a very extensive valley, about half a day's walk, and in it there were fountains of water, and a great deal of herbage surrounding the water. And all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah went there 4 times in the year, with their wives and their children, and all belonging to them. And they rejoiced there with timbrels and dances. And in the time of rejoicing they would all arise and lay hold of their neighbors' wives, and some the virgin daughters of their neighbors, and they enjoyed them. And each man saw his wife and daughter in the hands of his neighbor, and did not say a word. And they did so from morning to night. And they afterward returned home, each man to his house, and each woman to her tent. So they always did 4 times in the year. Also, when a stranger came into their cities and brought goods, which he had purchased with a view to dispose of there, the people of the cities would assemble men, women, and children, young and old, and go to the man and his goods, and take his goods by force, giving a little to each man until there was an end to all the goods of the owner, which he had brought into the land. And if the owner of the goods quarreled with them, saying, What is this work which you have done to me? Then they would approach to him one by one, and each would show him the little which they had took, and taunt him, saying, I only took the little which you did give me. And when he heard this from them all, he would arise and go from them in sorrow and bitterness of soul, when they would all arise and go after him, and drive him out of the city with great noise and tumult. And there was a man from the country of Elam, who was leisurely going on the road, seated upon an ass, which carried a fine mantle of varying colors, and the mantle was bound with a cord upon the ass. And the man was on his journey passing through the street of Sodom, when the sun set in the evening. And he remained there in order to abide during the night, but no one would let him into his house. And at that time there was in Sodom a wicked and mischievous man, one skillful to do evil, and his name was Hadad. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the traveler in the street of the city. And he came to him and said, From where do you come, and to where do you go? And the man said unto him, I am traveling from Hebron to Elam, where I belong. And as I passed, the sun set, and no one would suffer me to enter his house, though I had bread and water, and also straw and provender for my ass, and I am short of nothing. And Hadad answered and said to him, All that you will want will be supplied by me, but in the street you will not abide all night. And Hadad brought him to his house, and he took off the mantle from the ass with the cord, and brought them to the house. And he gave the ass straw and provender, while the traveler ate and drank in Hadad's house. And he stayed there that night. Verse 24. And in the morning the traveler rose up early to continue his journey, when Hadad said to him, Wait, comfort your heart with a morsel of bread, and then go. And the man did so, and remained with him, and they both ate and drank together during the day. When the man rose up to go, and Hadad said to him, Behold now, the day is declining. You had better remain all night, that your heart may be comforted. And he pressed him so that he tarried there all night. And on the second day he rose up early to go away, when Hadad pressed him, saying, Comfort your heart with a morsel of bread, and then go. And he remained and ate with him also the second day. And then the man rose up to continue his journey, and Hadad said to him, Behold now, the day is declining, remain with me to comfort your heart, and in the morning rise up early and go your way. And the man would not remain, but rose and saddled his ass. And while he was saddling his ass, the wife of Hadad said to her husband, Behold, this man has remained with us for 2 days, eating and drinking, and he has given us nothing. And now will he go away from us without giving anything? And Hadad said to her, Be silent. And the man saddled his ass to go, and he asked Hadad to give him the cord and mantle to tie it upon the ass. And Hadad said to him, What say you? And he said to him, That you, my Adon, will give me the cord and the mantle made with varying colors, which you did conceal with you in your house to take care of it. And Hadad answered the man, saying, This is the interpretation of your dream. The cord which you did see means that your life will be lengthened out like a cord, and having seen the mantle colored with all sorts of colors means that you will have a vineyard in which you will plant trees of all fruits. And the traveler answered, saying, Not so, my Adon, for I was awake when I gave you the cord, and also a mantle woven with different colors, which you did take off the ass to put them by for me. And Hadad answered and said, Surely I have told you the interpretation of your dream, and it is a good dream, and this is the interpretation thereof. Now the sons of men give me 4 pieces of silver, which is my charge, for interpreting dreams. And of you only I require 3 pieces of silver. And the man was provoked at the words of Hadad, and he cried bitterly. And he brought Hadad to Sirach, judge of Sodom. And the man laid his cause before Sirach, the judge. And Hadad replied, saying, It is not so, but thus the matter stands. And the judge said to the traveler, This man Hadad tells you the truth, for he is famed in the cities for the accurate interpretation of dreams. And the man cried at the word of the judge, and he said, Not so, my Adon, for it was in the day that I gave him the cord and mantle which is upon the ass, in order to put them by in his house. And they both disputed before the judge, the one saying, Thus the matter was, and the other declaring otherwise. And Hadad said to the man, Give me 4 pieces of silver that I charge for my interpretations of dreams. I will not make any allowance, and give me the expense of the 4 meals that you did eat in my house. And the man said to Hadad, Truly I will pay you for what I ate in your house. Only give me the cord and mantle which you did conceal in your house. And Hadad replied before the judge and said to the man, Did I not tell you the interpretation of your dream? The cord means that your days will be prolonged like a cord, and the mantle that you will have a vineyard in which you will plant all kinds of fruit trees. This is the proper interpretation of your dream. Now give me the 4 pieces of silver that I require as a compensation, for I will make you no allowance. And the man cried at the words of Hadad, and they both quarreled before the judge. And the judge gave orders to the servants, who drove them rashly from the house. And they went away quarreling from the judge. When the people of Sodom heard them, and they gathered about them, and they exclaimed against the stranger, and they drove him rashly from the city. And the man continued his journey upon his ass with bitterness of soul, lamenting and weeping. And while he was going along, he wept at what had happened to him in the corrupt city of Sodom. And that's the end of chapter 18. All right? Into chapter 18. So that was a pretty dirty trick, wasn't it? That was a pretty dirty trick that he pulled on him. You know what I mean? Set him up. And because he was a stranger and the city was so corrupted and everybody knew this guy, Hadad, right? That was an easy one for him to get away with. Stole the man's cord and mantle of many colors and everything, right? For a few cheap meals, right? A smiling face, and turned his back, stabbed him immediately. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah were 2 extremely wicked cities. But we're going to close that one up there. That's 17 and 18. We'll come back and hit 19 and 20, I guess. Yeah, we're going to finish there. All right, we'll come back. But anyway, thanks for riding along with us and with me. That was the book of Jasher, chapters 17 and 18. All right, in the meantime, y'all be safe out there. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, right? All praises to Yahweh. I love y'all. See you soon. Yep.